They're off. No assembly required, just misses the start. Pretty Like Money, Clever Cherokee, Baby Michaela, Ashes to Ashes. They group upon that lead with Clever Cherokee, Baby Michaela. They share it. In between horses, Ashes to Ashes. Pretty Like Money has been taken back, overtaken now by No Assembly Required. St. Mary also slipping past along with San, keeping the promises next. And last is Shiva's Boy. 3/8 of a mile remaining. Baby Michaela with that lead. Clever Cherokee right at his girth as they now blast past the 5/16th. Watch Ashes to Ashes making ground but taken on the outside of these two as they've turned for home with Baby Michaela on the outside. A Clever Cherokee now asked to quicken up onto the hand ride. Ashes to Ashes forming the line of three. San will come at them wide from in behind as they run toward the furlong pole, and it's a Clever Cherokee getting back to that right hand stick. Ashes to Ashes now trying to run him down. A 16th remaining. Clever Cherokee looks smart and holds the advantage over Ashes to Ashes. Clever Cherokee will win. Ashes to Ashes is second. San third. Baby Michaela fourth. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of the 6th, Clever Cherokee. A 3-year-old chestnut colt by Cafwain. Coetio by Clever Trick. Bred Catherine Standard. Owned Hammock Farms. Trained Philip Fiani OD. The rider Winston Griffiths OD. Second 8, Ashes to Ashes. Now settled. They're off. Gold Rush gets off slow along with Audra's Blessing. Hot Streak took off slow but recovers quickly. Pretty Eyes Sana and Lisa Vibes now in a jostle for that lead up front, and it's now Lisa Vibes as they leave the 5. Just a leader from Pretty Eyes Sana. Fly for Pleasure on the outside forming the line of 3. She's So Special right there along with Rejoice attached to her outside, and they group up as they leave the half-mile marker. Sweetheart races further back, then Hot Streak, Little Thunder. They're ahead of Sunshine City with catching up to do and under a strong drive already. A break back to Pretty Ting, then Audra's Blessing and a Gold Rush at the back of the field. They share last. They're now arriving at the 5/16th, and it's Fly for Pleasure now who has a narrow advantage. Right there against the rail, She's So Special turning for home against it. Pretty Eyes Sana in the blue cap asked to close up. Toward the outside, Little Thunder, Hot Streak in behind him as they run away now toward the furlong pole, and it's a Little Thunder who grabs the advantage. Sunshine City trying to close up on the far side. Right there against the fence, that's Rejoice, but it's a Little Thunder and a Wesley Henry who have a clear lead and only a 16th to run. Little Thunder out in front from Sunshine City, and Little Thunder takes it by maybe 4 lengths. Sunshine City has finished in second. Rejoice is third. Pretty Ting fourth. Fly for Pleasure fifth. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of today's 6, number 5, Little Thunder. She's a 2-year-old chestnut filly by Traditionals. Shahar by Law of the Sea. Bred and trained Richard Azan. Owned Elite Bloodstock Limited. This is the second win on the card for trainer Richard Azan. The rider Wesley Henry. Second 3, Sunshine City. Third 2, Rejoice. Fourth 12, Pretty Ting. This is the 100th running of the Supreme Ventures Jamaica 2-year-old stakes. They're off. Pochin gets off slowest. Philistia broke well on the far side. Lashing Force also gets a good start. Different Generation shows good speed. Tantaloo and My Friend Lucy just in behind. Ladylike follows these through along with Uncle Donny. Puchiloo races near the rail. Right against it, El Patron on the hunt. Uncle Donny backs off a bit, overtaken by All Correct. Pacina's made some progress. Exotic Gold and Sovereign Gold race as a team. And last of all, it's Cash Talks. Continuing their run on the far side as they now head toward the half-mile, and it's a Different Generation bouncing with a 2.5 length lead. Lashing Force trying to pursue, El Patron edging closer. Ladylike is on the outside of the rail running Puchiloo. Philistia now asked to make some progress. All correct, wound up by the rider and making some mile gains as they leave the 7/16th and run away toward the 3/8 pole. Exotic Gold is in there too, just in behind them. Pochin left down against the rail. My Friend Lucy has a lot more to find from there. Then Uncle Donny being driven along. Sovereign Gold is next. Then we have a gap back to Tantaloo and Forget Cash Talks as they fan out and turn for home in the 2-year-old stakes. Philistia on the outside now kicks and looks to have that lead. Different Generation is heading for the stands, but on the far side it's Philistia. Exotic Gold now shaken hard. The rider changing his hands as they're inside the last furlong and are running away to the final 16th. Here's All Correct now coming with a charge. It's Philistia battling All Correct, and All Correct grabs it close home. All Correct wins it over Philistia. Exotic Gold, Uncle Donny, Lashing Force and Pochin. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of the 100th running of the Supreme Ventures Jamaica 2-year-old stakes, number 7, All Correct. A 2-year-old dark bay gelding by Stormcraft. Royal Pizzazz by Royal Minister, bred Mark and Susan Waits, own the Velvet Glove. Trained Wind Acosta, the rider Shane Ellis. Second, 13, Philistia. Third, 9, Exotic Gold. Fourth, 5, Uncle Donny. We're all set now for a start. 7 furlongs. They're off. Femme de Reed just slowly off. Crazy Racer goes for the lead with Fallout Boy. There goes Femme de Reed coupling up on the fence, and Femme de Reed now snatches the lead and slips away by more than 3 lengths. Everblessed has moved into second as they run past the 6. Crazy Racer stalks them from third. Topless Angel is in between horses filling the sandwich. King Solomon right there on the rail. Fallout Boy racing out wide about 6 lengths off the lead as they leave the 5/8 pole. A break back to Drumline and no smoking in each other's company. A gap opens to the trailer Bride to Be. They're arriving at the half mile, and into that turn they've got to catch this Crazy Racer, leading up by almost 2 lengths. Topless Angel the closest pursuer at the 7/16th. Everblessed and a Fallout Boy racing just in behind them. A gap of 4 to Drumline. King Solomon racing down against the rail. No smoking tucked in between horses. Bride to Be and Forget Femme de Reed a long way at the last, almost at a walk, as Crazy Racer turns for home with the advantage. Topless Angel now sent in hot pursuit. Fallout Boy back in third in the Gold Silks, but it's Crazy Racer. Now the stick comes out in the right hand as they run to the furlong pole. Topless Angel racing on the extreme outside. Fallout Boy in behind horses. Bride to Be has made some progress, but it's a Crazy Racer approaching the final 16th now, driven out by Jones. A 16th remaining. Crazy Racer. Topless Angel trying to get on terms, but Crazy Racer fights hard and holds off. Topless Angel. Crazy Racer wins it. Topless Angel second. Fallout Boys third. Bride to Be fourth. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of today's 7th, number 9, Crazy Racer. 4-year-old bay colt by Tracking Rail Joy by Known Fact. Bred Philip Azar, owned the Businessman. Trained Colin Ferguson, the rider, Fabion Jones. Second, 6, Topless Angel. Third to 7, Fallout Boy. Fourth, 5, Bride to Be. Last one in field in line, but we wait on the light. There goes the light. 5.5 furlongs, it's a sprint. They're off, and Mayfay just toward the back. Rio Cobra ridden now to go for that lead. Don George in a tussle with him. Blender on the outside along with a speedy Annie Oakley. So they tacked onto their tails as they make their way now toward the final half mile. Justin on Fire is further back 6 lengths off those leaders. St. Teresa in the center trying to make ground. Mayfay on the outside overtakes both of those. We have a break back to Aquilo. Luscious next. A break back to Blackie Davis. And just at the back of the field it's Gogo Yvonne. Up front, Blender now has that lead at the 5/16th. About to turn for home, Rio Cobra now coming with a challenge and almost scraping paint. Sadi is in the center of the racetrack, unleashed for a run. Mayfair racing out wide of horses. Annie Oakley in behind. Don George has to progress down against the fence, but it's Rio Cobra with that lead, a furlong to run. Sadi now trying to gain on Rio Cobra, overtaking Blender. Don George on the rail toward the outside. That's St. Teresa coming with a run, but it's Rio Cobra pushed out by Dane Nelson. He's looking for another win on the card and gets it. Close between Justin on Fire and Sir D. St. Teresa is next, then Aquila going by with Don George. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of the 8th, number 2, Rio Cobra. A 3-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Chelsea Cat. Chelsea's Finest by Crafty Friend. Red Nancy Shuford. Owned Elizabeth Acosta and Derek Smith. Trainwind Acosta, the second win on the card for jockey Dane Nelson. Second 4, Justin on Fire. Third 8, Sir D. Fourth 7, St. Teresa. Fifth 3, Don George. As if we have a line. They're off for the 9th and final. Proven Prospect gets off slowest of the ball along with Sky Limit and Burning Medic. Breath of Life has skipped into an early lead as they run the back stretch. Lady Appeal goes in chase in second. First of all, racing back in third on the outside. Darkus Amanda now on the hunt as they make their way down the back stretch. Money Never Sleep almost hidden from view. Gaza Cherie in between horses. First of all, now asked to progress. Bourne's Identity is there along with Burning Clearance. Wind Bracelet racing out wide. Early Train on the rail. Natural Fantasy pulling alongside. Mr. Perfection in the brown, 3 wide of those. Good Girl Attitude is next. Then Burning Medic. A gap opens to Proven Prospect and another gap to Sky Limit at the back of the field as the leaders now arrive at the 7/16. Darkus Amanda by 3/4 of a length. Breath of Life right there in second. Wind Bracelet asked to kick in on the outside of first of all as they leave the 3. Burning Clearance in the black cap races up next. Lady Appeal asked to make up a 5-length deficit as they leave the 5/16th marker. Natural Fantasy in behind them as they turn for home. Darkus Amanda. Wind Bracelet on the outside. First of all, searching for room in between them, but the door closes as they run toward the furlong pole, and it's a Wind Bracelet with that lead over Darkus Amanda. Natural Fantasy making ground on the rail, overtaking first of all. Further back to Breath of Life running on the spot. Lady Appeal almost pulled up, but down the stretch toward the 16th marker, it's a Wind Bracelet. Natural Fantasy now charging against the fence. Wind Bracelet driven out to hold Natural Fantasy and does it. Wind Bracelet beats Natural Fantasy, then Darkus Amanda first of all. Breath of Life. Early Train. Being unsaddled in the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of the 9th, 14 Wind Bracelet, a 3-year-old grey filly by Elysius, Medicine Woman by French Champagne. Bred Dr. Paul Wright, owned Patrick Salmon, trained Colin Ferguson, the rider Paul Francis. Second 6, Natural Fantasy. Third 2, Darkus. Might make out which horse it is, but they've looked to have settled now. They're off. The Lincoln Lawyer gets off slowest of them all. Tantaloo gets away quickest. Attacked already by Sterling Gold. Platinum King close to them. Great Like That just in behind them. Possibly 4.5 lengths to 5 off that lead. Did I Do That tracks these. Azario is further back on the outside. Right there against the fence, a powerful red as they've floated past the 6. Pleasure Train follows up, and the slow starter Lincoln Lawyer has not recovered and runs last. Running away now toward the final 5. Tantaloo attempts to steal it. 6 lengths ahead. Platinum King waited within second, hoping now that Tantaloo will fold up in the end. Sterling Gold pulling alongside Platinum King. A length and a piece back. Great Like That stalking them and running in the slipstream as they now swing into that half-mile turn. Did I Do That is a further 3 lengths back. Azario, they're all stringing out in behind. A break of 5 lengths opens up to Pleasure Train. Then we have Powerful Red about to be overtaken by the Lincoln Lawyer. They've left the 3 and run toward the 5/16th, and Tantaloo out in front, but not so far. Platinum King has eaten into the lead as they're about to turn for home, and Tantaloo will be first into the lane. Platinum King now asked to close up on the outside. Great Like That is moving in between horses. Azario making some progress down against the rail. Sterling Gold in between horses. Did I Do That? Not really responding to the left-hand stick, but Tantaloo continues to fight them off inside the final furlong with the advantage. Great Like That and Platinum King asked to close up. It's a Tantaloo and a Georgiana Surgeon. They've stolen it and slipped away from them under a masterful ride. Tantaloo by maybe 6. Great Like That, Azario, Platinum King. In the winner's enclosure, the unofficial winner of the second, number 9, Tantaloo, 2-year-old Bay Filly. She's by He's the Real Thing. Vamonos by Elysius. Bred David Crawford, owned Elizabeth da Costa, trained Wayne da Costa, the rider Georgiana Surgeon. Second 7, Great Like That. Third 8, Azario. Fourth 1, Platinum King.